Hey, Jackson here. I wanted to do a video on should you buy used Lego sets. And I think for me the answer is yes in a lot of scenarios, and I just don't think a lot of people take advantage of it or know about it, or they have a stigma against buying the used sets that I would like to educate people on why I justify it to myself and why I do it and the benefits you could be seeing it depending on the type of collector and uh, Lego enthusiast that you are. So for me, I am not a big collect sealed box sets person. Um, I have a very select few sets that I keep sealed, and they're mainly as backups in case my current sets yellow or fade, or get damaged or get lost or something like that. I'm not collecting any sets for resale value. I like to buy the Lego sets that I want to buy to display, to play with, to interact, to mod, to alt build, all of those things. So I don't need, in a lot of scenarios, to buy something new sealed in box. I mean, I will when the Target, the Walmart, the Amazon, the Lego store, the whatever has a really good deal on it. And I mean, it is usually better than not to buy new sealed in box. You can guarantee what you're getting inside. Um, Everything's coming pristine condition. There's no second guessing. There's no weird what ifs. But for buying sets that are retired, for buying sets you can't get in other stores, for buying uh, sets that have really expensive minifigs in them that I might personally just not really care about or not want, because I'm not a Lego reseller. So if there's a rare variant of something in the set and I already have one and I just don't care about it, or I'll just get it later, then I'm not paying that full sealed in box price. I'll let the people who like doing that grind of it get their value out of it, and I'll buy the 99% of the set from them for $40 off. So I think buying used is a great way to save money. It's a great way to stretch your Lego budget. If you're somebody who's trying to build a collection fast, or you're somebody who's got a little bit of money they set aside every month to buy some Lego, or you have saved up and you have $500 you want to spend and get the maximize what you can get for it, I think buying used Lego is a better way to stretch that. I've gotten plenty of sets. It's not really going to work for sets that are under, I would say under $30 for the most part. The deals you're going to find on used just aren't there. But if they're retired, sometimes the deals are there. I mean, saving $5 or $7 or something here and there adds up really quick to an extra battle pack, an extra new smaller set, or really adds up. You know, you buy enough of those, it's like getting a free $50 set if you can save up that money. So what I mainly use it for is the larger scale play scale builds that I'm looking to get. I'm going to show two examples here, but recently I've got the Coruscant Guard gunship and the Playscale Razor Crest used, and I've saved I don't know, $80 total getting both of them used the way I did, and for me that adds up to getting an entirely new set. So doesn't take much work, doesn't take much of a grind to find them. I pretty much exclusively hunt on eBay for these used sets, and it's a great way to save money. So I want to showcase it. I'm actually going to pull up eBay here and just give a few examples. So, actually, we'll start here. So buying, right, this Playscale Razor Crest is out of production now. It's retired, so you have to get it on the secondary market if you didn't get it when it first came out. Taking a look at these prices, I always select buy it now because I don't want to get in a bidding war. That is an easy way for it to scale way past what you're looking for. So I search for these sealed, right? So a sealed Razor Crest on the secondary market right now is going for, you got to take into account some delivery, so 125, that adds up to 150, 150, 150, 130. So you're really pushing, I mean, 160, it's really climbing up there. So to get it on the secondary market, I would say, unless you can snag one of these things that's going quick, you're probably looking at around $150. On the contrary, you can get this one right here, no minifigures, for $75 with free shipping. So that's half the price. $75, you're saving $75 buying this. You don't get any of the minifigures. However, there's a million Mandalorian sets coming out right now. This isn't the UCS variant of any of these minifigures, so you can buy those minifigures on the secondary market. You can buy the new $10 Mandalorian speeder, and you get the Mandalorian Grogu and a little speeder build that you could probably put in the back of this. It'll probably fit pretty nicely. That's $10. So $85, you're still going to get your figures, the main figures at least for this set, and you get the build. Now, that to me is a screaming deal. To save $75 to get this for half off the way it comes is fantastic. Now, what you're going to have to do when you buy used sets is, what I usually ask for is, can they be disassembled? Just because building Lego sets is the main joy that I get. So sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no, depending on the work it takes. But when it comes, it's in a couple bigger pieces, and I take the time to sit there, I'll put on a show, or I'll put on a movie, and I'll sit there and just break the set down. It's pretty mindless to do, considering you're not following directions. You're just taking stuff apart piece by piece. Sometimes I section it out into, oh, this wing I'm going to put in this bin, and the cockpit I'm going to put all here. Once it's all disassembled, then I'm able to pull up the directions. Directions are free on lego.com, and then you can build it back up yourself. It takes a little more time, it takes a little sorting, but I'd rather save $75, and extending that building time for me is part of the joy of it, right? When you build a set, you get a new set, you're really excited to build it. It takes 20 minutes to build some of these smaller sets, and then for a lot of people, they're done. They throw it on a shelf, perfect. For me, this extends that building period out a little bit, not to an excruciating amount of time. Like, I would never do this for the UCS Millennium Falcon. That would be crazy. That would take way too long to take apart and rebuild and piece hunt down for everything. But for sets like this, even these larger play scale sets, extending that building time to a couple hours, break it up in a day or two, sort your pieces, disassembly, reassembly, all of that adds to the build experience of it. And if you're someone like me who also then afterwards likes to go in and modify the sets, it gives you a whole nother aspect of, how do you break sets down? How do you find out what goes where, what you can change, what you can modify? I think it's a really important part of that building process. So this is just an easy example. I looked this up right before starting this video here. For $150 to buy it new, sealed in box, to half the price, $75, to buy it used with no minifigures. Again, buy the $10 speeder that comes out right now, and now you got your Mandalorian and Grogu and a speeder to throw in this for $85. That's huge savings. If you're in this building mindset like me, where I just want to build a set, I have a million copies of Mandalorian and Grogu and other characters floating around that I can stage into a build if I want, or you can just add the minifigs to buy later. A lot of the times the minifigs are very expensive out the gate, and that's mainly because they're either exclusive or they're hard to find. With the new Mandalorian movie coming out, there's going to be 10,000 Grogus and Mandalorians and all the characters available in varying degrees of detail, and those prices seem to settle and drop, and that is an easy thing to just wait a little bit and then buy the figures you want later, but you can secure the big chunk of it, which is the build, now. So that's one example. The other example I have is this Coruscant Guard gunship. I bought this recently used. I actually bought it used complete, so it comes with all the minifigures, everything, and I got a really good deal on it. So even if we want to look at these prices here, the Coruscant Guard gunship, new, sealed in box on the secondary market, that's $165, $150, $150, $160, $150, $140, $150, $160. I mean, that really goes up. $165. It is a pretty expensive set to get here on the secondary market, and to me, it's a really cool, unique version of the gunship that I would love to have. On the contrary, you can buy this set for $90. So $70 off, $60 off the price we just found. It comes with every minifigure except the Palpatine, which maybe you already have the Palpatine. You can always get the one Palpatine you're missing later. But a way to lock in this set for that cheap is such a good opportunity to take advantage of. Again, comes complete, comes with the Coruscant Guards, which to me is like a better figure than getting the Palpatine. I just think locking all of these figures in now with Padme and getting the Palpatine later would be fine if you're a completionist collector, but if you just never want the Palpatine, you also never have to get it. But to save $60, that is huge. That's great. I think it extends the build process of this. Another just big example of how you can save $50, $60, $70 we've found here just looking very recently on sets you probably want, and this can extend the build time and save you a ton of money. I mean, off the top of my head, saving $50, $60, $70 that's a free V19 Torrent, that's a free new Arc 170, that's a free multiple 501st battle packs. I mean, you can get 4 501st battle packs for that right now. They're $15 a piece. So do you want a free 16 501st troopers? That's an easy little army right there to put together for free. Hunting other used sets, like smaller sets. I bought in the Ray's Speeder recently used for like $20 out the gate. All the figs, the box, the manual, everything. So other sets that you might not want to spend money on, dropping these down to get these used lets you add in sets that they feel like freebie sets to me a little bit. If your budget was there to begin with, scaling down that price for these can extend how many sets you can get. Or if you just don't have $160 to spend on the Coruscant Guard gunship, but you have 90, you can now have it. So I think more people need to take advantage of these used sets. I am constantly in eBay. I constantly favorite these sets like this. If you favorite it, it'll go to a little wish list that you have. And what I've found is a lot of sellers. So when you sell on eBay, you can push out discounts to people with items in their cart. So if I favorite that item, eBay and the seller can see that Jackson has the item favorited. He's interested in that item. Now, what they can do is, and what I've found is, like, honestly, within 24 hours, you usually get some sort of offer sent to you by the seller. They want to sell this set. So sometimes they send out, hey, would a 5% discount make you buy this set? Would a 10% discount make you buy this set? And oftentimes, a 10% discount is $9 off. So now this is $80. That's great. The other thing you can do is make an offer. So you could also just offer $80 if you wanted to try and get your own 10% off. But it's a great way to save a lot of money on these sets, and I think more people should take advantage of it if you're not a sealed collector. So anyways, that's sort of what I wanted to get to. I wanted to just educate people a little bit on my mental philosophy on why I collect a lot of used sets, how it extends the build process for me, and how it helps me save a lot of money and grow my collection very quickly, because the extra money I'm saving, I usually just allocate to other sets I wouldn't have normally gotten, or beefing up army builds or stuff like that with that extra wiggle room. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts on buying used versus sealed, whether you feel too sketched out about doing this and you just need the new sealed in box, or if this is something you're willing to take a look at and take advantage of. But yeah, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.